Game one. So this is the table that we're working with today. Going to be a little bit of rural west front action. The table's not too crazy, but there should be pretty good amounts of cover. Anybody who's within 1 inch of a copse of trees, which is these kind of big clusters of trees, they will be getting soft cover. The hedgerows all along the road are hard cover, line of sight blocking, and the stone wall here also hard cover, but not line of sight blocking. The ruins, hard cover, same thing. In the field is difficult terrain, so they'll be only able to advance through that. The little stone walls here just providing soft cover because they're so small. We do have two buildings, so the little farmhouse and the small shed next to it. These are the same stone walls. Vehicle movement is doubled on the roads. The railroad can only be advanced over, can't be run over. So to give you a quick breakdown of the forces here for the Germans, we have the lieutenant here with the man, and all of the German force today is veterans. We've got 2 squads of infantry. The leader has an SMG, and there is 1 LMG in both of those. And we have a engineer platoon. They're being led today by an NCO, a Feldwebel, who is an acting officer for the time being. Or maybe he's an officer candidate. We've got 2 squads of these engineers. They've got 4 submachine guns and 1 rifle each. Comparing that over now to the American force, all of the American force is inexperienced. So we've got the lieutenant, lost, trying to find his way, no doubt, with his trusty staff sergeant. We've got 3 squads of infantry. The leaders have submachine guns, and there's 1 extra man with SMG, and 1 extra man with a BAR. We do have a medic. He's the only one who's not experienced. He's regular, because you can't take him for inexperienced. And we have an inexperienced Sherman and Stuart. These have the vulnerable and weak sides, easily catches fire, but the pencil mounted for the Sherman rather. So that's the forces, and let's get them off the board, and we'll tell you about the terrain and the scenario. I did forget to mention, the points here is going to be pretty close. The Germans having 514 points, and the Americans having 511. I went ahead and rolled for this game, and what we've got today is going to be a seek and destroy on the long edges and a meeting engagement. So we'll go ahead and move to the deployment phase. And I don't have a dice bag, so I'm using my trusty pocket. Good as so. First dice of the game is Germany. All right, they have advanced up. Next dice, or they ran up rather. Next dice is Germany again. All right, so we've got Unterofficer Tiedeman's squad moving up here on the right. And now we have brought in Unterofficer Brenner's Pioneers over here on the left flank. So let's see, the next dice is Americans. All right, so from this side, we are going to be bringing on Hothead, our tank. We're going to move him 18 inches up the road. That should put him right about there. And we're going to put this on advance, because we want to try to take out these pioneers before they cause too much trouble. So we'll have the tank over here. That's definitely within line of sight and within range. So he has his main gun and 2 machine guns. So rolling first for the main gun, trying to shoot at them with the, actually he'll just use a coax for that. So that's 4 dice. So he's 4 to hit, inexperienced makes it a 5, and he moved as a 6, so that's only 1 hit on the coaxial machine gun. And now firing the hole-mounted machine gun. No hits. And theoretically he has a pintle mounted, although it's not shown. So let's see if the pintle mount gets anything, and it doesn't. So just the 1 hit. And let's see, these guys are not in any kind of cover, and they're veterans, so we need a 5 up to get a kill. Nope, just a pin. All right, so let's see who's the next order dice. German. All right, so we've had Unterofficer Fehrenbach over here with the mine clearing device, has gone and run through the gate and up to this hedgerow here. Next dice is American. All right, so we had Sergeant Hudson here lead his men on up, and they're coming into the field here, and they're going to advance because they can't run through this anyways. So we're just going to see if we can get any shots. The BAR trying to fire across the road over here, and we'll see if any of the rifles are in range. So let's see if they actually are. That BAR has a 30-inch range, so he's definitely good. Let's see if any of the rifles do. Yeah, looks like all 4 rifles will be in range as well. So we've got 4 rifles and 2 dice for the BAR. So let's see, here's the rifles first. That's a 4 to hit. They moved as 5, they're inexperienced as 6. So just like the tanks here, we're probably gonna just be hitting on 6s today. All right, no joy. They tried and they failed. Next order dice will be Americans again. All right, so that's Sergeant Phillips run up here now by the little farmhouse. Next dice is Germans. All right, und Offizier Coleman. Actually, I guess he's an Obergefreiter. Coleman. Maybe he got field promoted to Unteroffizier. Unteroffizier Coleman has run up along the side here, trying to get himself in a better position. And let's see who's next. The Americans. All right, we're just going to have Doc run onto the field here, where he can get some cover behind that low wall. And let's see, next dice is Germany. So we're just going to have, all Germany has left is the 2 lieutenants here. So we're going to have Lieutenant Velker, who's our infantry lieutenant, just run onto the board. Easy day. And he has his buddy with him, who's just a runner. He's nobody special. I'm sure he's special to somebody, but not special enough to get a name. And next dice is Americans. All right, we've had Staff Sergeant Castaneda run up here. Hopefully he's still in range of Doc Bates, but if not, that'll be what it'll be. Next dice, Americans. So now that it's the Germans, the only one that they have left now is Feldwebel Diemer, and he's just going to run up, easily within range there. Where are you? Run, so that he can be close enough to activate these boys, but also be behind a little bit of cover here. And that means the only dice left in the bag is the American. Oh, so I realized I made a mistake earlier. When I moved Hothead the Stuart up, I was actually looking at Kentucky stat block, and I'm used to German tanks using 4 dice, and so I rolled 4 instead of just 3. Should have just been 2 attacks instead of 3, and they should have been 3 dice. That's my bad. We're going to advance Kentucky onto the battlefield here, have them kind of move up in front of some of these infantry on an advance order, which is here somewhere. There we go. Advance up. Now that Kentucky's up here, they Actually, we'll have them just be a little bit more over. They're gonna have their line of sight now, shooting across the way towards these Germans right there. And we're gonna use the right number of dice this time. So first up, we will have the coax instead of the big gun. This is hitting on a 6, and we've got 1 hit. Next will be the hull mounted. No joy. And lastly, the pintle mounted. Also no joy. So nothing but 1 hit. And they're veterans, so we need a 5 to get a kill. No joy. And that will complete the turn. We'll give them their pin marker and put all the dice back in the bag. So at the end of turn 1, we've got our Americans advancing up, trying to get into some cover here. They don't have the best starting positions, but they do have a bit of cover for them. And for the Germans' part, the pioneers kind of pushing up the center left, and the infantry are on the right, but they all have anti-tank grenades. So there's still a definite possibility of being able to take out these tanks. There's also the possibility the tanks will do absolutely nothing because they're all inexperienced. All American force is pretty inexperienced here. Lieutenant Owen and Staff Sergeant Case have quite a predicament on their hands, so we'll see how this goes. All right, first dice of round 2 is American. All right, now we're gonna have our Valiant LT just run up here by the troops, and actually, we'll have him a little bit back here by Doc. That way he should be in range to be able to do some snap 2s. But for right now, this'll have to be good. So there we go, LT, right behind Doc Bates. Next dice is Germans. So the order dice, we're gonna give this to the lieutenant here. Lieutenant Owen is gonna go ahead and issue a snap 2. He's gonna activate both of these infantry squads to move up further so that they're a little bit closer and have better sight, and try and pop off some shots if they can. All right, so, sorry, that was Staff Sergeant Castaneda's squad. This is Sergeant Hudson's squad. And let's see how many they'll be able to shoot and what they can see. So they do have line of sight on the squad over here. Pretty sure everybody's gonna be in range for that. Easily, yeah. The submachine guns are not. So same situation as before. BAR plus 4 rifles is gonna give us 6 dice that will be hitting on 6s. 1 hit, and they're veterans, so let's see if we get a kill on a 5. Nope, it's a 1, nothing but a pin. And the last bit of this is gonna be the run order for the lieutenant himself with the staff sergeant in tow. And the next dice will be Germans. All right, so for the Germans, we're going to have the Lieutenant Velker go first. He is going to snap to Unteroffizier Tiedemann, and this is, I believe, Unteroffizier Fehrenbach, the Pioneers, and he is going to give them both an advance order and have them move up to better positions and start engaging. We want those SMGs to kick in for our Pioneers, and we want our rifles to be able to actually shoot. So let's just go ahead and make that test. They are on 2 pins, but veterans, and they're also in the proximity of their officer, so that'll offset the pins. Just needing a 10 or less. Easy day. They'll lose the pin, and let's get it moved. All right, so first up here, we're gonna have Sergeant Hudson's squad take their shots at these Germans out in the open. It's their best bet. So BAR, yep. Full 24-inch, yep. Everybody's in range except for the submachine guns. So that's gonna be 6 dice. They will be hitting on 6s. All right, 2 hits. And Let's see if either of those are kills, needing a 5 up. Yeah, 1 kill, no cover save. They will go up to 2 pins. And the lone rifleman falls, first blood. All right, we've got Oberger Fighter Coleman has moved up on the right side here and is going to try and pop some shots. We're just going to check line of sight here. Distance is for sure good on all accounts, but we just need to move this tree because this is really just scattered terrain to look pretty. So line of sight is good to go for you. Can you see? No, you can't. All right, but that will be 1, 2 riflemen and the light machine gun. So the LMG, 5 dice plus 2 rifles. And these will be hitting on 5 for moving up. That is 2 hits from the LMG and our 2 rifles, 1 more. So 3 hits, killing on 4 up. No, 3 up because they're inexperienced. That's 2 and 2 5 up cover saves. No joy, so they will lose 2 guys. All right, so with the German dice, the lieutenant is going to do a snap 2 for the squad right here. And they've got 2 pins, but their officer will offset that on his snap 2. So that's going to be a 10. Easy day. Down to 1 pin. Now, all of the infantry and engineer squads have tank hunters. So they've paid for the anti-tank grenades for them. So they are going to see if they can assault this tank, which hasn't moved. And yes, that one's in range, 2, 3. Yeah, multiple dudes in range. So we're going to give them a run order and move them up here to the Stuart. This could spell bad news for the little Stewie. Now, they're going to have 4 dice because it's 4 guys. He hasn't moved, so they're hitting on 4 up. And that's 2 hits. And let's check the damage value on the Sherman because it's going to be damage value of 8. So they need 8, so there's 2 plus 4 is 6, which is not enough to take it out. See, I don't think that they do any kind of re-rolls or anything. They just don't have to take the test for tank fear to do the assault. So the last move is going to be an advance from the lieutenant. He is going to come around the side here, 6 inches. Or I guess that's not the lieutenant, that's the Feldwebel. And he is going to, well, he'll be on the tracks, I guess. He'll try and take his shot. Yep, he's going to be in range, so he will also. We're good by clearing our comrades here, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's going to be 2 dice hitting on 4s for the Feldwebel. No joy. And 1 dice for the rifleman hitting on a 5. No joy. Dice wasted all around. And let's see, next dice will go to Germany. All right, so all of the dice remaining are American, and they're going to realize the mistake of leaving the Doc back here. Doc Bates is going to move up so he's closer to the boys and will actually be able to help. This squad is going to advance so that they can put the heat on those pioneers before they rush in. And the Sherman is going to sit tight and try and lay some suppressive fire and see what kind of damage they can deal to folks out in the open. So we'll go ahead and move all these guys and then we'll roll their dice. All right, so the tank here, Kentucky, is going to go ahead and pump off her shots. They will have shot before these guys moved up. I just wanted to get all that done. So the hole mounted was firing at the squad over here. That's 3 dice, hitting on 4s, 5s because inexperienced. No hits. The turret is going to point there, fire at this squad. That's going to be 3 for the coax and 3 more for the pintle mount. All of these will be hitting on 5s. All right, so that's 3 hits. Wow, there we go, finally. And let's see if they can make anything out of those 3 hits, though. Because these are veterans, we need a 5 up to get the kill. Only 1, and they will... More than half of them is behind the cover there, so they will get hardcover save on that 1 of a 4 up. And they will save, so nothing but a pin. And let's measure for our infantry now. They've advanced up, and they're going to be firing into these pioneers here. So I don't know if the SMGs are in range. Nope, they're not. Everyone else will be, though. So we've got a BAR, that's 2 dice, and 1, 2, 3, 4 rifles. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are inexperienced, so 5s, and advanced, so hitting on a 6. And nothing. That would have been really good for a squad that wasn't inexperienced, but these are the lessons you learn. So that will wrap up the turn with the Americans taking a bit of a beating this time. Very lucky to have the tank survive here. We'll see how that's going to go for them next time, and see if the Germans can push the attack and take the Americans out. It could go either way still. All right, now starting turn 3. This could go very, very different depending on who gets the first dice here. The Germans, of course, will want to try and take out that Stuart quickly and move into contact. The Americans are going to want to get the Stuart out of dodge and maybe start putting the herd on the left flank, get their guys into a better position before they start getting pinned up. So it remains to be seen, that it's going to depend a lot on who gets this first dice. And it will go to the Germans. All right, I think we already know what's going to happen here. Is going to be the Lieutenant is going to try and do a snap 2 with his engineers here. And yeah, they are in range. Whoops, helps if you can see it, huh? They are in range, so he's going to give them in order to assault that tank. And then the LT and crew are going to advance forward and take a shot at these fellers hiding over here. All right, let's see. I keep saying LT. Sorry, Feldwebel. Maybe you'll get a field. All right, so first things first, they are going to need to pass a 1-pin order test. Veterans is 10, down to 9, but with their LT there, we'll bump them up to 11. So anything but a foobar. And they're good. They'll lose the pin. And we can do the assault of the tank. Now they're already on top of it. So this is 4 dice, hitting on 4, 5, 6. That's 2 hits. And this will be a DC. They need an 8. So we've got 2. So we really need a 6. No, nothing. Disappointing. These tank hunters are not really pulling their weight. Hopefully I'm not reading these rules wrong. Okay, well, the LT, or the Feldwebel, I keep promoting him, is going to advance up 6 inches. Now we'll put him right there. With his bud. And they are within 6 inches, so they will be point blank here. So hitting on anything but a 1 for the SMG for the Feldwebel. And naturally, one of them's a 1. All right, so that's 1 hit, and then the rifle 1 shot moved, so a 5, but that -2, so a 3 up. And he gets a hit too. These are inexperienced, so let me give them their updated pin. They're inexperienced, so we kill on a 3. A 3 and a 4, and they will save soft cover on a 5 up. One saves, one dies. Wow, that's close. All right. So that is the LT's go. Next dice will go to the American. So I've realized, right, that actually they were within 6 inches of Doc. So we'll see if he saves that guy on a 6 up. No, no joy. All right. Well, the lieutenant is going to take this one, and he is going to snap to the squad on the right. Yep, and the squad on the left. The squad on the right is going to try and fire at the German Feldwebel. So we'll see if Staffsergeant and Castaneda can land that. And our other sergeant is going to try and fire at these engineers out in the open and see if he can put a hurt on them. All right, so this one's gonna go to Sergeant Phillips. They're gonna take an advance, kind of move up to the edge over here. Let's see, move Sarge up closest, because he just might actually be in range now. And his other SMG brother will go right up next to him. And then everyone else will just kind of filter in next to them. You'll go on this side, I guess. Go here. Don't want you shooting over your own troops. We'll put Sarge in the corner just to make sure that we're gravy. Yeah. Yep. Should be good. Double check the range for those submachine guns. They are in range. So that's going to be 2 for 4 dice that will be hitting on a 5 because they're inexperienced, not taking the penalty for movement. Nothing. Tight. The BAR and 1, 2, 3, 4 rifles. These guys will be hitting on 5s. Right, BAR, 4 rifles, 5 dice. 5 dice hitting on 5s. 6s because they moved. All right, they landed 1 hit. They're out in the open, so no cover, and these are veterans, so needing a 5 up for the kill. Hey, they actually get a kill. All right. The lone rifleman in the back takes that lucky shot from the BAR gunner, just spraying and praying. Next order dice will go to Germany. All right, so we are going to give the order here for an assault. And this is Unteroffizier Fehrenbach and his pioneers. They are going to be assaulting this squad up here on the right. And yes, they are within range. So I'm going to move them up. We'll just move this tree out of the way for now. Moved into contact with the base of it. There we go. Now that squad is down. Normally, because the engineers will get to, oh, I guess we do need to pass an order test first, don't we? 1 pin on veterans, but they were pretty sure, yeah, they're within range of the LT. So 10 drops to 9, goes back up to 11, anything but a foobar. Yep, they're good. They'll lose their pin. All right, so normally engineers, when they attack, they will get to go first. They're also within the 6 inches. So being within 6 inches, the Americans would have gone first, except that they're already down. So they will not go first. The Germans will go first instead. With these engineers, all 4 of them have submachine guns. So that means they will get tough fighters and allow them to re-roll. It goes straight to the kill. Inexperienced Americans means that the Germans will kill on 3 and re-roll any misses. So that is all 4 of them killed. So we'll go ahead and remove those guys now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the Americans will get a chance to retaliate with their sergeant, who also has a submachine gun, killing veterans on a 5, re-rolling a miss. It's a miss. He gets 1 re-roll. Nothing. So this squad of Americans has just been wiped out. And these 6 inches consolidation for our pioneers, 6. So we'll move the Americans and get them in position. All right, so with their order dice now, they're going to give this to the tank right here, and we're going to have Hothead attempt to assault this squad right in front of them. Not too happy about them trying to toss grenades in the hatch. That's going to force them to make a morale test. But with the LT right there, that's basically anything but a foobar. 1 and a 2, yeah. The German pioneers get out of the way. They've been fighting on the East Front for years now. They're used to tank assaults, I guess. So he's going to move up to 18 inches forward, but he's got to go straight forward. So we'll just put him right here. And all right, not very successful, but at least he's out of the frying pan for the moment, I guess. Next order dice will go to Germany. So we do have to make some orders test first, see if this is going to be successful. Staff Sergeant Castanet on the other side of this one here is sitting on 2 pins. So they're 8 for inexperienced. 2 pins drops it to a 6, but the LT will offset, so they're back to needing an 8. They will succeed and drop to 1 pin. And squad over here has 4. So 8 drops to 4, but LT brings it back up to a 6. 7, no joy. They will not shoot, they will instead go down. And the LT himself is going to take an advance. We'll go ahead and move him real quick while we got you here. And they are going right here. Now, they should be within point blank. Yep. So the LT, Lieutenant Owen, has 1 dice. 4 plus an experienced is 5. And moved to 6, but point blank will drop that back down to a 4. Nothing. And his Staff Sergeant here, Staff Sergeant Case, is move. Well, actually, no, because he's got a submachine gun. He doesn't have to worry about that with the assault rule. So it's just 5 for being inexperienced, drops to 3 up for point blank, 2 shots. 1 will hit on the squad assaulting the tank here, and they're veterans, so he needs a 5 up to kill. No, nothing but a pin. And the squad right here is going to fire on the German lieutenant or Feldwebel. You know what? If he survives this, he might get a promotion. So we've got 1 BAR and 1 rifle. They're inexperienced, so that's a 5. A pin puts them at 6, but they are within point blank, I believe. Let's double check for the LT. Yeah, he's good. So, sorry, Staff Sergeant. Everybody's getting field promoted today. I don't know. So let's see if they can land these. That's inexperienced 5, pin 6. 3 dice needing a 6. And nothing. All right, so nothing but a pin dealt so far. This is some risky business. Next dice will go to... All right, so we are going to have the Lieutenant Velker right here. He is going to issue a snap to... I think he's in range of these guys. Yeah. He'll issue a snap to these boys, and he is going to give them an advance order, and have actually no, he's just going to keep spraying fire down on the last 2 dudes over here. Although actually, let's see, do we have? Yeah, we got some line of sight to the medic here. So they're going to have these two dudes shoot at the medic, and then the lieutenant, once they've gone himself, is going to execute a run order. So he's back here, and we'll be able to give that bonus to them. So the shooting at the medic, let's see if that rifle is in range. I think he probably is. Yeah. All right. So first, before they do that, I guess they will need to pass a 1-pin order test. Veterans is 10, 1 pin is 9. In range of the LT, brings it back to 11. So anything but a foobar. Whew, it was close, but they pass. They'll remove the pin. And now, being able to shoot, that's going to be 5 dice for the LMG and 1 rifle shot shooting at the medic. And we're just needing a 4 here. Yeah, that's everything but 1 is a hit. And Doc is a regular, the only regular. So let's see if Doc Bates managed to survive. And this is going to be a 4 up. Yes, 2. I don't know, can a Doc save himself if he's in range? He's not up next to the wall, so he doesn't get the soft cover benefit. So we'll just say 1 dice, see if he can save himself on a 6. No, it was close. It was real close. Doc, you almost made it. All right, Doc is down. And we'll pull an American dice out. Now they are down by 2. And now the lieutenant is going to execute a run order. Nah, these guys are tough. They're veterans. They can handle themselves. Actually, all right. So Lieutenant Velker, having thought about it, trusts his Gefreiter over there to do his duty, and instead he is going to try and help out his boys, advancing instead to the left here. 6 inches. We'll get him here, and we'll get his little buddy right next to him. Double check that they're within the 12. Yep, they are. So that's 2 dice for the lieutenant. That will be hitting on a 4. That's 1 hit. And his rifleman, 1 dice hitting on a 5 for moved. It's kind of cocked. No, it's still cocked. Come on. Okay, no joy. So 1 dice, and they're inexperienced, so killing on a 3 up. And they have soft cover. Let me give them a second pin here. And soft cover, so saving on a 5 up. Yeah, they will save, so nothing but a pin. All right, and let's see. Next order dice will go to Germany. All right, at the start of round 4, Germany has the lead with 2 order dice. So let's see who goes first. This could very much change how the battle's gonna go. First up will be the Americans. All right. Let's see. We're going to see if that LT is in range. He's going to try and do a snap 2 with his boys over there. He is. So, he is going to have Staff Sergeant Castaneda's troops run over here. And, actually, they'll need to pass an order test first. Their inexperience, which is an 8 with 2 pins, takes them to 6, but being near the LT brings them back up to needing an 8. 7, ooh, a close call, but they succeed, down to 1 pin now. All right, and the order that he's gonna give them is melee. We're in melee city now. So they are going to try and assault the German lieutenant before he can start issuing any orders. They're gonna have to hop over the wall, making it a 6-inch move instead, but that's all good. They're in 6 inches, so the LT will not be able to fire first. So this will, I believe, be happening simultaneously We've got 2 dice for the BAR and 1 for the rifle. And for the Feldwebel here, we've got 1 SMG and 1 rifle. So since the 2 dice for the assault on the BAR and the SMG are tough fighters, they'll get the 2 dice, and I'm going to use the opposite color for the rifle's individual dice. So on the right here for the Germans, killing on a 3 up, they got a 6, so that's 1 kill. And we re-roll the tough fighter miss, and that will be 2 kills, so the LT will get wiped. Or Staff Sergeant Castaneda will get wiped. We'll see if he's able to return the favor to the Feldwebel here. And they're veterans, so this is a 5 up. That is 1 kill, and re-roll a tough fighter. No, so the Feldwebel's buddy dies, but so does Staff Sergeant Castaneda. That is 1 more dice in the German bag. All right, next dice. Oh, we'll give him a D6 consolidation, 2 inches, and the next dice will go to Germany. All right, so the last German dice here is going to go to the Gefreiter. We're going to try and give them a fire order. They're sitting on a single pin. Veteran, so that's going to be a 9 up. Easy day. They will lose the pin, and they're going to pop their shots at this squad over here. Now, since they were kind enough to move, they're more likely to be in range. Everybody but the SMG. Yeah, all of them are going to have some line of sight here. So, let's see. LMG is going to be 5 dice plus 3 rifles. Will give us a total of 8 shots. These will be hitting on a 4. Okay, only 2 hits. All of that for only 3 hits. All of that for 3 hits. And killing inexperienced on 3 up. 1 death. And soft cover save 5 up. No, it's a 2. So they will take a pin and lose a guy. The last dice will go to that there tank. All right, so Kentucky here is going to take an advance order. She will pivot once. Yep. And she's going to go ahead and roll her 9 inches up. Getting her right here in this gap. And now she'll be in point blank, and it's just going to open up with all of those machine guns. So that's going to be 3 for the hole, 3 for the coax, and 3 more for the pintle. So here's the hole first. I should have specified, right, that's moved is 5, inexperienced is 6. But now back to point blank means it's going to be on a 4, so that's 1 hit with the hole. Now for the coax, that's wow, all 3 of those hit. And for the pintle, have to actually grab more dice. For the pintle, hitting on 4 up, 3 more dice. 2 more hits. Wow, that's a lot of hits. It's gonna be a rough go. Okay, so they're veterans, and these will be killing on a 5. They don't benefit from cover because it's point blank. No, not a single kill. Cheesy Pete's. A whole lot of shots, a lot of smoke, a pin. Probably a couple guys peed themselves, but nobody's dead from that. So that will wrap up turn number 3. Going into turn 4, the Americans are suffering a hearty beating on the right flank. Although they've got the Stuart out of the thick of it, and they might be able to start turning things around, maybe. They're still in quite a pickle. However, on the left flank, things are sort of going their way. So we'll see where that takes us in turn 4. All right, so sorry, I forgot to reconsolidate our pioneers here. We're gonna have Feldwebel Diemer here do a snap 2. He's going to give the first pioneers squad here. That's Brenner's boys. He's going to give them a run order to assault the American lieutenant. He is going to give Unterofficer Fehrenbach an advance order to go try and engage those Americans over there. And he himself will also take an advance order once that is done. So let's resolve these first. These guys are definitely within 6 inches. So Pioneers are pretty cool. I'm looking forward to the new German veterans kit because it has a lot of the same stuff that's not metal. So these boys won't be falling over left and right. All right, so they're within 6 inches. The Americans will not get to shoot first. All 4 of these dudes are tough fighters, and because they're engineers, they're going to be going first. The reason that we didn't have that last time was because our platoon commander here is not an engineer. He didn't have that special rule, so that's why they fought at the same time. But engineers will get to go first, so they're inexperienced, killing on a 3 up here. Yeah, that is 3 kills. And that will wipe them before they get a chance to riposte. So, I'll take another American dice out of the bag. The Americans are now down 0 to 4. It's not looking good for them. This right flank has just basically crumbled. Our next one here, we're going to give these boys an advance order. So, 6 inches. Let's see. Will I get the farthest guy around? Yeah, it'll get him around there. So we will move them around the back side of this building here. And they're going to be shooting at the Americans over yonder. Let's change the angle here so you can see a little bit better. This tripod is a little bit janky. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 men with submachine gun. Let's measure from the furthest guy. Is he in range? Judges say yes. Is the closest guy point blank? No, unfortunately he's not. So all 4 of them will be hitting on 4s because they are pin free. They don't suffer the penalty for moving. And that's 2 dice apiece for submachine guns. 8 dice hitting on 4s. What's that guy? That's a 4. So 3 that missed. And inexperienced, these will be killing or wounding, I should be saying. They'll be wounding on a 3 up. That is 3 wounds and soft cover, 5 up saves for the Americans. We should roll their dice, huh? 5 up saves. Just 1 guy saved, 2 guys go. So 2 more riflemen are out, and they will go up to 2 pins. And the last part of this snap 2 is going to be the Feldwebel himself. And I gave him an advance order. So he is just going to move up with his boys and lead the way on this attack. These are his engineers after all. So he's advanced. He is within 6 inches. So this will be point blank. That's going to be 4s, no penalty for moving, point blank. So hitting anything but a 1 on 2 dice. Yep, and killing on a 3 up. Yep, and saving on a 5 up. I'll use the American dice again. 1 saves, 1 dies. And they take another pin. This is very rapidly crumbling for them. Up to 3 pins here. Yikes. All right, let's see who is next on the order dice. Judges say Germany again. Nothing super exciting for this. I'm just going to give the Lieutenant Velker a run order to get him a little bit closer to the men. Let's see. There we go. We'll get that as close as we can get it. He's running over here with his little buddy in tow. And the next order dice will go to the Germans again. All right, well, since we're already here, we are going to give an assault. All of our infantry and engineers are equipped with anti-tank grenades. So we're going to see if the boys on the right here can pass an order test to do that. That's a one pin order test. And they're veterans. Are they within 6 of the LT? They just are, yeah. So 10 down to 9, back up to 11. Anything but a foo bar. Yep, they succeed. They will lose their 1 pin. And now they are going to run along the side here and start their assault of this here tank. Now, they got a little bit more guys than the Pioneers do, which will hopefully come in handy for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 dice will be hitting on a 4 up. These 2 are cocked. So far, we got 2 successes. Still cocked. There we go. 3 successes. Plus D6. 6, that's a 9. Let's check the Sherman. The Sherman is a 9, and because they're tank hunters, then that means this will be rolled on the full damage, not just the superficial. And 2, I believe, is immobilized, but I will look that up. And while I do, we'll go ahead and get out the next order dice, which goes to the Americans. All right, for the Americans, they're going to give an advance order to Hothead here now to try and salvage the situation a little bit. So Hothead is going to go ahead and do a full pivot in place. And we'll move 9 inches forward right there. And we'll be spraying the hole mounted towards the Feldwebel and the coax towards these fellas right here. So let's see if Hothead can get some revenge. That's going to be 3 dice apiece. So let's do the coax shooting at our Pioneers for starters. And this is 4 inexperienced, 5 moved is 6. This is super duper cocked. No joy on the coax. And now for the hole mounted shooting at the Feldwebel. Hey, there we go, 2 hits. Feld will take a pin. And he's a veteran, so that is a 5 for a kill. One of those is a 6, and he's got he's touching the wall, which should be light cover. So that'll be a 5 up save. He saves. He just manages to probably like duck behind that at the last second. That's nuts. Oh, Hothead, you had a good run. That was a valiant effort. Okay, so Hothead took an advance. Next order dice will go to the Americans. All they have left. Oh, the results of the assault on that on Kentucky, by the way, was that it was immobilized. So their assault blew out the tracks. It's not going anywhere and went down. And took an extra pin, so it's at 2 pins now. The only thing that the Yanks have left is this little 3-man squad right here. And these poor lads are sitting on 3 pins. So let's see if they're even able to do anything. Inexperienced 8 with 3 pins. They need a 5 or lower. No joy. The shooting's getting to be too much for them. The Americans go down. And the last dice in the bag is this squad here. They are going to take a run order and start wailing on Kentucky from the other side. So let's double check the distance value on this. Make sure that they can actually make it. Yeah. Yep. All around should be good to go. They don't have any pins, so there's no order test. And we'll just move them all into contact here. This dude's just chilling on the hedgerow, I guess. It's like, oh, I'm gonna kick your tank. Haha, take that. Alrighty, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 labs. And again, all these guys have tank hunters. If you don't have tank hunters and the anti-tank grenades, you're gonna have to be making a -3 pin, like you have order test like you had 3 pins. They don't have to do that because they are tank hunters. Paying for anti-tank grenades has proved like actually useful. Shout out to Bo Mortensen for that tip. All right, so they will now be needing a 4 up. So I hate rolling on this road. It makes them caterwonky. I'm gonna roll by the forest. All right, that is 4 successes. And it's a 10 that we need, right? A 9. It's a 9 for the Sherman. We've got 4, so we need a 5 or a 6 here. No joy. But it's looking precarious. That brings us to the end of round 4. Round 5, the Americans are absolutely on the back foot. I don't know that they'll be able to salvage this, but they can potentially put some hurt on. Maybe earn some points back. Maybe bring it to a draw. We'll see how turn 5 goes. Right, going to turn 5 here. It is very precarious. America can basically only hope to salvage a draw at this point. And that'll largely depend on who goes first again, as has so often been the case this game. So, let's see. First dice is America. All right. So, first things first. Kate, get off my butt, you big kitty. All right. Oh, ow. Kate did not like that. So, Americans going first. We're going to activate the little Stuart here. We're going to see what Hothead can do. Hothead is going to just fire, so it's not going to be taking the penalty for movement. And she's going to be putting 3 dice into the Feldwebel up here first. So just hitting on 5s for being inexperienced. Yeah, that's 2 hits. And killing on a 5 up. No kill, just pins. And got to salvage some of the dice here, so we'll just fire the coax as well at the Feld. 3 more dice. These will be hitting on 5 up. 1 more hit. He's already taken his pin. Killing on a 5 up. No, nothing but a pin. Well, it's hard for an inexperienced crew to do much in this war, huh? Next dice goes to the Americans. All right. Well, we will just keep on going with this. And we're going to send this over here to the other tank now and see if Kentucky can salvage anything. She's immobilized. She can't move. But there is a guy right in front of her, so she can shoot at him. And she's going to turn her turret, because that ain't going yet. And that turret, oh, that's really hard to move for some reason. Here we go. Whatever, you guys know the smoke is there. All right, so the whole mounted is gonna fire at the dude right in her face. And the coax will be shooting over at the squad, at the Feld. And then we'll find a target after that. Oh, this is an American tank. Why am I grabbing German dice? All right, so first things first. Whole mounted, firing at the dude right in front of her. It's a 4, but 5 for inexperience, but 3 for point blank. Oh, 4 because of pin also. She's got, can't see it over there. She's got 2 pins. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, I gotta pass an order test with her before I can do any of that. So, 2 pin order test. Their inexperience, which is 8, down to a 6. 5 plus 3 is 8 now. So she does nothing. Man, it's not looking good. Okay. I don't know how high I can stack these pins. So you know it's on her and not on the German troops here. We'll just put that dude right there. Okay, well, not a great showing. I don't think America's going to be able to salvage this. Yeah, we'll save the barbarity and just concede here. Let's see if the last squad here is going to be able to make a break for freedom. They've got 3 pins, so passing a 3-pin test, they need a 5 or lower. Nope, they'll have just gone down anyways, and they'll probably promptly get wiped. So there we have it. The not a great showing for the inexperienced Americans. Probably coming into this battle feeling like they were a little bit better prepared or qualified than they actually were, meaning a battle-hardened veteran force. Even though they had numbers on their side and armor, it still wasn't enough to salvage the day. So, some good takeaways from it. If you've got inexperienced guys, don't just necessarily rely on numbers. It may not get you there. And moving your armor in close, I mean, you can see the swarm right here on Kentucky. Hothead got swarmed too. So yeah, keep your armor out at a distance. That's probably something that I should have done as the American commander. And the struggle was just trying to find some terrain to be any kind of defensible. They held out pretty good until they started getting into melee with everybody, and then it just kind of went south. So all in all, fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I may do more of these again in the future. We'll just have to see. Kind of took a while. So yeah, that's about it, and we will see you guys next game. Have a great day. All right, so on the right here, we're gonna only have the LMG who's got line of sight and 1 rifle. Actually 2 rifles. So they've moved up, and their pin should have moved up with them, my bad. So we got 5 dice for the LMG plus 2 rifles. Moved 5 and a pin hitting on a 6. Wow, and they've got 2 of them. This guy's cocked. Okay. 2 hits though, and let's see if they're able to take out these inexperienced Americans. They'll be hitting on a 3. No, double 1s. All right, nothing but a pin for that squad on the right. And now to get slightly spicier, the engineers here, let's double check. All right, so those front 3 SMGs are in point blank. So they've moved, which takes, actually, it's SMGs, I don't have to worry about move. So the 4s will go down to anything but a 1 on 6 dice. And then we've got 2 dice for the SMG behind them, and 1 dice for the rifle. That will be hitting on, well, the rifle will be hitting on a 5. There's a lot of different rolls here. All right, let's see the rifle first. They're shooting the squad on the left. So the rifle needs a 5. Okay, and he's got his hit. And the SMG back here is just needing a 4. No joy. And the 3 SMGs in the front needing anything but a 1. This one's cocked. Yep, that's a 5. Take this 1 out. So that's a fair few hits on these Americans, and they're inexperienced, so killing on a 3 up. This one's cocked. That's a 4. All right, so 4 potential kills, and they will have soft cover from the wall. I'm gonna say it's soft cover. So that'll be saving on a 5 up. No saves. 4 guys die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's over half. So let's see. They're going to have to test with a 1 pin. Now they are within range of Lieutenant Owen back there. So an inexperienced is 8, with 1 pin is 7. LT brings it back up to a 9. Yep, they'll stay in the fight. We'll move those bodies. Next dice is America. All right, so the Americans are going to give a fire order here to Hothead. We're going to actually use the right number of dice this time. So Hothead's hull mounted is going to be firing at this squad, but the turret is going to shift and spray the coax at that one. These will be 3 dice apiece. So shooting at the squad on the right. They've got no pins. They didn't move, but they are inexperienced. So this is needing a 5. That's a 1, 4, 4. Nothing. And for the squad over here on the left, nothing. Just moved and shoot. Inexperienced is pretty rough. So even with all the shots from a tank, no joy. And our next dice will go to the Germans.